hair and beauty get lumped in together a lot.
Yep.
But it's actually very, very different worlds.
Coming back to being authentic.
Yeah.
Whoever you are, just show up as whoever you are, which a lot of people are frightened to do.
Yeah.
Your people will find you.
You can nail what that person's pain point or problem or ideal outcome is.
Yep.
Then people will make sure they find the money to pay for that.
We didn't enter the beauty industry because we wanted to do finances. We want to be tangible and tactile.
Yeah.
You realise when you have a business, that's what you need.
People have such a fear of numbers. Numbers can be your friend. Numbers don't lie. I think that's the catchphrase we're going to take today.
Numbers don't lie.
That's the thing with everything.
Yep.
It's about building connections.
I'm lying there having a facial and the next one over they're doing a lash extension and they're having a good old chat and it's like, it's not what I came here for.
It's about having clients that value
Absolutely.
you.
Yep.
There's no point in trying to attract people that don't see any value in you.
The only way you're going to grow is if you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So you've got to...
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's it.
Before we dive in, just a quick little love note from us. If this podcast has ever made you laugh, cry, think, or feel seen, please hit that subscribe button. It's the easiest way to keep the magic going and it helps us land more incredible guests for you. Go on, back your girls, subscribe now, and let's keep rising together.
Welcome back to the Inner Sanctum, Salon Rising, the podcast. I'm flying solo today as I welcome our special guest, which is Jeanette, the General Manager of Salon First in Melbourne.
That's right. Yep.
So Salon First is a distribution company.
Beauty wholesaler?
Beauty
Yes.
wholesaler,
Yep.
yeah, okay.
Yep.
We were just having a chat prior to coming on about what Salon First used to be named back in the day. What was it?
Back scratches.
Scratches. That just is so...
I know. Your brain can go in a few different directions with that, and it has, yes.
So what year was that?
1989.
Wow.
We've been in business 36 years this year, so
And
December
then-
1989 it was. So,
Wow.
yep.
And then how long have you been with this business?
About 27 years.
Wow.
I know, I don't look that old, do I? But,
No.
Yeah.
No,
Thank you.
exactly.
I was a baby when I started, and I've had my babies while I was there.
Yeah.
So my babies are 21 and 25 now, so
Oh my goodness.
still living at home.
But your background wasn't in beauty, correct?
No, it was in business and administration. So, yeah, I was employed as the bookkeeper. So
Wow.
kind of got all that sorted out, sort of.
So
yeah.
did you feel like you had an affinity with the industry as well? Like, or do you think that's kind of grown
Not really.
with the
yeah,
role that
I think
you
it's
stepped
grown
into?
with the role. Yeah, I really knew
Yeah.
nothing about the beauty industry. I'm not that person that has their nails done, and primarily that's where we started as a business was nails.
Were you still back scratches when you started?
Yes, yeah. We were still back scratches. Yeah, back scratches now care.
Wow.
And back scratches is a brand in America that one of our directors, Beth, started to import with the help of her business partner at the time, George. So they own the company. They were partners in life. They're not anymore, but they're still business partners. So that's a kind of a test to the relationships that they like
Isn't
to have.
it?
So
yeah.
Doesn't mean they don't fight, but no, they're very two different brains. So yeah.
Potentially, if you've had that background, though, it could make those challenging fights and conversations easier. I would maybe say. I mean, who knows? Okay, so you've been working in this company with this couple turned not couple turned business partners for 27 years. So clearly it's a great place to work, to have stayed for that long.
Yep.
And you've kind of developed this, obviously, growth within the company to get to where you are.
Yeah,
So,
it's required change over time, and we've kind of expanded and probably recently post-COVID contracted, like just
really?
to market. At one stage, I think we had 7 showrooms across Australia. So we had one in Brisbane, in Maruka, so it's south side of Brisbane, Seven Hills, which is in Parramatta. We had a store in Adelaide. We had at one time 4 stores in Melbourne, because Melbourne's kind of where we were bred from. So
So what have you contracted to now?
Yeah, so we've one. So we have one location in Melbourne where I am, so which is our national sort of head office. So we've got a big warehouse, like 1,800 square metre warehouse and things. So, yeah.
I feel like with the way that distribution's gone, like that's all you really need now, right?
Yeah,
Do you agree?
Yeah, COVID taught people to shop differently and to interact differently with business. And, at one stage we were open 7 days a week, probably a bit like here, you've contracted. We stop Sundays, we stop Saturdays, but we're open a little bit longer during the week, like 8 to 5, and you just have to change to
Yeah.
You'd have to drag some of your customers along, kicking and screaming, but it's definitely the way.
Otherwise, you just don't change and you don't grow, right?
That's right. Yeah, you just stay stagnant.
And some people will kick and scream and not come along for the journey. Mm-hmm. And I think part of growth is accepting that that's going to happen.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
moving forward anyway.
Yep. You have to have a bit of a vision about what it's going to look like or what you hope to get to, and it might not get there. It might change, but yeah, you have to have a reason behind it. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, clearly you've been in the beauty industry for quite some time now.
Yep.
I've been in the hairdressing industry for quite some time. So it gives us that sort of insight into the growth and change. And we were talking about what's hot. So when the business started, obviously nails were the big thing, right?
Yeah, yep.
And I wouldn't say that nails aren't hot now, but like just watching those trends of, what you're really focusing on.
Yep.
And I mean,
well, what gets all the attention?
Yeah.
What's screaming the loudest in the marketplace, basically?
So what do you? I know what I think in my head. Mm-hmm. I know what I think is screaming the loudest in the beauty industry at the moment. Yep. What do you think is screaming the loudest in the beauty industry?
Well, there's two different sort of camps, I guess, and one is lash and brow. Mm-hmm. So as a standalone service, as a lash and brow bar. So you're not a beauty therapist, you're not doing everything, that's all you do. So really niching down to that. And the other one is skin.
Yeah.
Skin aesthetics, dermal clinicians. They're not beauty therapists, they're dermal clinicians.
Big resurgence, I reckon.
Yep, very big.
Like potentially in a way that I don't think we've seen before. I again, but potentially post-COVID, feel like skin is really having a moment, and it used to be all about stripping everything away, and now it's about
No, it's about understanding the skin barrier.
Yeah.
I also think the public has changed. They're more educated about ingredients, about and that's the internet in your hand, I guess, that's educated them about that, good ways and bad ways. I think it's probably across all demographics, but there's more disposable income. As much as I know people are doing it tough with, mortgages and things, they sort of cherry pick what they spend that money on, and it's self-care.
I think that's such a key thing, because we hear this so much, recession, and no one's got any money. But we're still really discerning about what we're spending our money on, right?
Yep,
and if you can nail what that person's pain point or problem or ideal outcome is, then people will make sure they find the money to pay for that.
Yep. It's a little bit about finding, well, who is your ideal customer to, and then go and market to that. You don't need to be everything to everybody. So who do you want to attract to your salon? So the, semi-retired or on the way to retirement person that's maybe has a bit more money, or the 30-something sort of up and coming that's probably a bit more dynamic in doing home care as well as and they want it to be an experience. That's the other thing too. So it's not just in and out in a sort of noisy salon. Like having the space designed properly is important. The whole journey is important from the time.
We were talking about this prior to coming on, because as you said, hair and beauty get lumped in together a lot.
Yep.
But it's actually very, very different worlds.
Well, they don't really overlap when you really think about them,
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Except for the aesthetic aspect of it, right?
Yeah, yep.
But it's so different, just even down to the fact that you said, like, hairdressers talk.
Yeah, I'm listening to this podcast, and I have listened to podcasts before, but clearly I binged it a lot beforehand. It's like, you girls know how to control the conversation, and reminds the experience of being the client in the chair going, the hairdresser controls the conversation and drives it.
Yeah.
So where, beauty is very opposite. It's quiet. It's, you can choose to have a quiet appointment if you want to these days. And it's a very different
we do
vibe.
offer that as in hair as well. But I think in the atmosphere, it's quiet.
Very hard. It's very hard.
So it's still a buzzing. I mean, we've got blow dryers. Blow dryers are loud.
Yep.
But I find it really interesting now that we're seeing a lot of these co-working spaces that are combining the beauty and hair side of things. Yep. I don't know, and this might be controversial. Just please don't come at me in the comments. Oh, you can, it's fine. But I don't know that they actually combine very well.
No.
Environmentally.
Environmentally, yeah. Like you're not got one client in a room with 4 walls. Like you are next to it in a chair with someone, whether it's at the basin or in front of the mirror. Yeah, and you are overhearing conversations, and it's very different. You've got blow dryers going, and
I know when I was in a co-working space, I was really conscious of that. Like you've got that door that's rolled shut next to you, that, you know, you've got someone performing some sort of like beauty experience in behind that one cavity slider door, and just thinking that's not blocking all of this out.
No. And I've been in salons where, you know, they've retrofitted, but the walls don't go to the ceiling. They're just those sort of 3/4 walls. And I'm lying there having a facial, and the next one over, they're doing a lash extension and they're having a good old chat. And it's like, it's not what I came here for. Like, you know, I wanted to feel free to wake me up when it's done kind of thing. Yeah. So that's my vibe when I go to in-salon, is just a bit more wellness, a bit more. Yep.
So do you feel like the customers that are coming to you guys that are looking for like product and support and all that sort of thing, is that what they are aiming to create for their clients?
Yes and no. Again, it depends on where they're located. You know, clearly know our Melbourne salons pretty well, but, you know, if you're like in a city, you have a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
You're very much, you know, clean skin, vegan, you know, it has to tick a lot of boxes in that way.
Yes.
And then you have the ones in the suburb who really do try and cater for everything. You know, they want to have as many services as possible to get as many clients as possible, because that's the way that they're thinking. But different people are niching down. Like I said, it's if you don't offer that, if you just sort of become an expert at something, you can.
And lashes, right? Like brows and lashes are a completely different beast.
They are. Yep. I find
more and more so now.
You find a lot of girls don't have a beauty background, like they might not have done a diploma or anything of beauty. So, they've just sort of stumbled over it, or they've learnt lash extensions. And I think a lot of lash and brow came from lash extensions, because that was sort of the ebb sort of 7 years ago. That was where the peak was, and that's kind of fallen away.
But harking back, when we look at this evolution of brows, like we've come a long way from the $10 brow wax.
$10 brow wax, putting ash on around your brows to get the overflow of tint off, sort of thing. There was no paste. There was no, you know, mapping string. There was no mapping. And a lot of artists still don't do that. Like, you find old school, they're not twins, they're sisters, you know, like they don't necessarily want to be symmetrical, as much as beauty is always sort of defined as being symmetrically beautiful. Maybe that's what people are trying to aspire to. But, it's changed a lot. No longer, if you're doing a $10 wax, please take it off your menu. Like, you need to be doing a experience, putting it all together as a package to go, no, I don't just do brow waxing, I do a brow sculpt and dye, or like it's, you know, I do from start to finish and send you home with aftercare too. And it's, you know, $180.
Yes. And that's why your face looks so amazing, because as they say, your eyebrows are like the curtains, you know.
They frame your face,
Yeah, when you're in the house and you hang the curtains, and that's what brings the look together, your eyebrows are that for your face.
Yep.
And it's funny, I've got a lot of friends, mostly through the work that we've done through Salon Rising, in the brow and lash industry. And so I have young ones coming and speaking to me about how they want to get into the brow and lash industry and what they should be doing. And I do think, as you were saying before, it's so different. I think it needs to be a completely different thing. I've had young ones say to me, oh, should I do beauty therapy? It was like, well, do you want to do skin?
Yeah.
It's like, is that what you want to do? Or do you want to go and are you going to do this? You know, like, do you need to be learning how to map and create that? And then also upskilling all the time, because the look changes.
The look changes, the product changes.
Yeah.
It's important to be all over it, but I think there's a bit of a fear of missing out. But if you're good at something, don't jump ship. Like, you know, it's going to take you down a whole other road. You're going to have a drawer full of stock that you half used, 3/4 used, quarter used, and stick with what you're good at to a degree.
And that's really important from a business aspect, is really thinking about that and not just having stuff for the sake of having stuff.
Yep. I think as a therapist, and I've explained this to brands sometimes as they release a product, you've got to think you started that and you're so far down the road, but your clients are coming in at step one. So don't, you know, overcomplicate it and think that they know anything. They don't know anything. You're the expert. Take them on your journey in step one. And
it's so true. I think so often we we think because it feels so innate to know that everybody knows, and everybody doesn't know.
No, they don't know. So
yeah, never undervalue the help, the change you might make in somebody's life just by presenting one
Basics.
small piece of information.
Yep.
But do you think then, because of your background in like business and bookkeeping, that from the perspective of the people that are coming to you to look for support, that you have that, I feel like that would be a really well-rounded.
Yep, it's a all-encompassing kind of, and we do bring mentors in from time to time. We have an event in Melbourne every year that we, have presenters of. I think Samara's going to come next year and be a presenter for. So sort of linking salons and who the expert is, basically. We're not experts. We sell product.
Yes.
We can't be everything to everybody as well, but we're pretty well connected. So it's about creating those connections and, putting people in touch with people to find their fit,
And that's the thing with everything.
Yep.
It's about building connections.
Yep, absolutely. I was saying earlier, Rich was asking about how do you navigate brands approaching you and things like that, and it happens regularly. I think 2 tanning brands reached out last week to be stocked with us, and it's not that easy. Like it depends on the range and the brand, but we have existing relationships with our current brands, and again, that's consistency too.
Yes,
so it's about that balance of adding enough new things to keep people, those that are interested, what's new, what's different. And like we put out an email this morning, a new arrivals one, and that would be the biggest open rate of all our emails.
Yes.
It always is. If people don't feel like they're being sold to and they just want to passively see what's new. But yes, if we've got really good relationships with brands, they are our most profitable relationships.
Yes.
Like everyone at work is invested in, not just me. I'm not on the shop floor, but all of our brands are. They get well supported by those brands, and so they're more likely to help promote them, I guess. Yeah.
So do you have someone from the industry or who specialises in the different areas that you stock?
A little bit, yes. We've got a beauty therapist on staff, someone else that's done beauty, but her love, her passion is nails. So, we have a bit of a cross-section of experts basically in what they do.
And then do you have a cap on like how many different products per niche that you would offer?
Not really.
Or is it
it's
really
pretty
just
fluid, So, and that's
making sure that what you're adding is not detracting from the people that you've already built that relationship with.
It has to have a point of difference.
Okay.
It's got to talk to something that we're not talking to at the moment with the current offering we have. So, yep, absolutely.
What do you think the next thing that we're going to be talking to is?
Like we said before, skin is the peak thing at the moment, lash and brow. I think lash and brow is changing. I think a few people have tried to do the skin lightening things. We've seen Kardashians with no brows, that sort of stuff.
Yes.
I think it fell flat on its face a bit, but people are still trying to bring out bleaching products, which have been around for years, bleaching products. I don't know, it's maybe Mediterranean skin with really thick, solid brows, want to lighten them up a bit sort of thing. So maybe that a bit. I definitely think skin is going to evolve. It's not, there's more machines, there's more, and not just like microdermabrasion or microneedling. I think there's going to be other machines, like the LED machines that, handheld and things are if someone's not got one and they draw at home or something.
I've
and not
fallen
just
down
face.
a rabbit hole with LED.
Yeah,
I really have.
It's easy to do.
I know, but I was starting with the face, and then it's a client of mine. Her granddaughter works in the beauty section of Harrods in London.
Oh, okay.
And so she's like, no, we need LED everywhere. So she's got like one that you can roll out over your whole body.
For your butt and things like that. Yep, absolutely. I mean, that's a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brazilian butt lifts and things like that. And, well, you've got to look after that skin. So,
and relatively non-invasive. Yeah, I mean, the technology is incredible. What do we think about? I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming from the Korean skincare realm as well.
Which I think has always been around, but
I just don't think people realised that it was around.
Yeah, and it just wasn't called that. But Shiseido, all those sorts of brands have been around for years. That glass sort of skin. I'm going to say it's lightening to a degree, but and that's probably why it's called the Korean one, because they cover themselves up. But with Caucasians like me, it's about removing any brown spots, addressing all that sort of skin damage stuff. So not so much that we want whiter skin, but we want it to be clearer.
Oh, my cosmetic nurse is Filipino background. She has a huge Asian clientele.
Yep.
And in the summer, they all come because she does like a lot of the IV drips and stuff like that. They all come and have this stuff in there. It goes into their IV that like stops them from going brown. They do not want to be brown. To be brown is to be poor to them.
Well, that's where tan came from, you know.
Yeah.
That was a tablet and changed the melatonin in your skin. And
yeah.
So, okay, as an it's kind of ingestible, isn't it, in terms of it's going into your veins, isn't it? Wow, that's a lot of education involved there. That's a little bit more than skin penetration, like, you know, getting a skin penetration license.
But even skin penetration licenses, like, do you deal with much of the stuff involved with not obviously getting them, but the products that people are using for those sorts of services?
Not really. We don't have a lot of skin penetration stuff. No, we don't deal in a lot of machines or anything. There's enough companies out there that specifically deal with that. And it's, you know, it's education. It's the right education when you're selling it. Follow-up education.
For sure.
A bit like skin in terms of big beauty houses that, you know, want to stick with just selling direct and selling an opening order of 15,000 or whatever like that. They don't want to sell it to wholesalers like us, and that's fine because I get it. You want to support the salon. They want to become indoctrinated in that brand and know it from where to go. So we're more about, you can dip your toe in. We have a skincare range that's beautiful. It's from Italy. So, you can start off small. And build it because, not everyone's got, you know, all that money at 21 to open a shop. Like it's not the journey for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's slow to start up. Maybe in the middle it's the staff, 15 staff members in a big salon, and then it peters back down again and they're going home and doing services out of room. They go, oh my God, I'm making more money than I was when I had 15 staff. So, it's capturing people at the right point in their journey. So,
I have seen recently in Queensland we've had quite a big shift because there was a huge amount of change in compliance in terms of everything that was required for services that break the skin.
Yeah.
And sadly, I've seen a lot of young people come really unstuck that have started out in their early business journey, dermal clinicians, not beauty therapists, and have invested big money in
talking to it, and now they can't.
Yeah.
And they're really and it happened fairly quickly. So if they weren't aboard it, they are really struggling. People that were very busy on socials are just now like, I don't know what my voice is. I don't know how to do the before. I can't do before and afters. I don't know how to speak to it.
Or about, or it has been
challenging in terms of So I guess it's coming back to being authentic. You just got to whoever you are, just show up as whoever you are, which a lot of people are frightened to do. But you'll find your people. Your people will find you. Yeah, if you're just as authentic as you can be. So,
do you think that's the type of ideal that you set as a leader as well? Because, I mean, you're a GM, you've got an all-female team.
No, we have about third male, 2/3 female.
Yep. I love that.
Yep, it's a balance. So I'd like to say we have no drama queens and alpha males. So we're, fairly cruisy. Don't quite fall asleep at the desk, but we all get along.
Yeah.
We don't live in each other's pockets though. We don't do a lot of after hours things. Like it sounds funny, but I'm really cognizant of people who just want to get home. You've got grandkids, you want to go.
Yeah.
Like, you want to pick your kids up from school or, I'm coming in late because it's Father's Day. That's fine, And
I think it's being the awareness of I know because I'm a bit the same, and Samara's the opposite. Like she just loves, like her team love to be together 24/7. Like they hang out outside of work, and I'm just like, no, I want to go home, guys. Peace out.
Yeah, have a dinner at 6 and in bed by 8:30. So we work to live. So that's, I don't know. That's me. So maybe that's permeated a bit in the sort of people that work with us, and
And then how have you found like your team? So you've got people specialising in a few different things, but how have you built that team around? And like, what's your goal and aim for the business that you have? Obviously, like you've condensed things down.
It's a lot online. I think just becoming a bit smarter and keeping ahead of the trends in terms of digital stuff. So that's everyone. COVID made everyone digital. You couldn't help but. So that's the reason why we sort of closed our showrooms. The traffic through the door was less. They'd moved online and they had to do it. They go, oh, that wasn't so hard. That was a good experience. And our strength has always been in brands and distribution. So we were probably one of the first multi-brand distributors. So when we sort of started, a lot of people, wholesalers just had one brand of nails, one brand of wax, one brand of, I'm not going to say hair care, but tint or things like that, where we had multiple. It's changed now. There's a lot that have multiple brands. We've sort of learnt content is king online in terms of product. People want to know the ingredients in things and stuff like that. So really
people
beefing
are
up all of that.
far more savvy.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think, you only have to, and I think it's even more important now for us to be providing that sort of information, because I see not great information. And it's like, okay, well, we have a responsibility to put the information out that is true and accurate and researched. And
it's a new generation that were brought up on Google and just they know how to research and where to get the information from, and they'll call you out on it if it's not there or they're not happy with ingredient 1, 2 or 3, like in the top of the list. So yes, they're a different audience that we're speaking to. So beefing that up to make sure that we've got all the right content. We're going to start leveraging AI soon, which 100%. We do in sort of content in wordy things, but I think even digitally, graphics and things. Are you
outsourcing this, or is this something that you're trying to build within your team?
Yeah, we outsource quite a few little things in expertise, whether it's SEO stuff or a little bit of our social media we outsource. We've just got someone who I'm onboarding at the moment who's from a very digital world, so we're leveraging her expertise in what that looks like, because that hasn't been traditionally our strong point because it hasn't needed to be.
Yeah.
So we rely on the brands to create a marketplace, and then we're great at distribution and getting the right product at the right price at the right time.
But you've recognised now that is something
it's evolving.
That has to,
Yep.
So are you then creating more digital stuff for your brands?
Yes.
Does that then?
No, not for our brands, because they have their own. Their own image and stuff too. I think as our brand, and I think that's again where we've fallen over. What does our brand look like? What's its point of difference, and how do we stand out? We can't just look like our brands.
And that's so interesting, because this is something that's relevant to all the businesses that we speak to as well. Like, so what do you think? What do you think your brand is? What makes you different?
What makes us different? I think our length of time in industry and seeing those trends, and we still have, we got 12 staff members, I'm going to say 5 or 6 of them are like 10 years plus.
Yeah, so that speaks to...
There's a lot of history there we've seen things come and go, and,
But it also speaks to the consistency that your business can provide. You know what I mean? Because you've had that really strong foundation and consistent growth
and
with the same people, not changing all the time.
And I think that permeates salons too. Like we say, be consistent in your approach. Come and talk to us. Like we're consistent. You'll see the same faces. We do mix it up, but yeah.
But do you think too then, in like changing and growing in your digital reach, it's kind of like a social proof for those people that you're trying to support that, no, we really do know what we're talking about, right?
Yes.
And we can help you and we've got the knowledge and the information. Just look at all this digital.
Yes, or if we don't, then we'll connect you with it.
We'll connect you with it,
like, we also realise that we can't be everything to everybody. We're not mentors. We're not growth partners in that sense to help
but you can be that pathway to finding the next person that's going to support with that. And when you've developed the relationship with people where they feel comfortable to say, like, I'm actually struggling with this a little bit. And you can be like, I know the person for you.
With somebody, so
you need to step over here.
So we're going to formalise that a bit more, and we're just really going to have a sort of a partners approach through our digital platforms to help connect salons with that. So because we realise they don't know where to go. If you're at home by yourself, and even hairdressing is probably different to beauty again. You're not really talking to your clients in beauty. Where do you go for that help? Where do you sit on the couch at night trawling through stuff, and it's a little bit of hit and miss, but come and talk to us because we're the experts.
Are you going to find the people that are actually going to help you?
Or you're just listening to what they're selling you, you know what I mean? Or,
Absolutely. So what sort of partnerships are you looking at entering into?
Quite a few different varieties ones. So we've already entered in a few that are training related.
Yeah.
So Isabella Longrigan, who's the resident beauty expert on Channel 7, she does buccal massage, which is intraoral facial massage and things like that.
Oh my gosh, I want to get that done.
Massage with her, and it was just amazing. I am a jaw clencher, and you hold all your attention in your face and your jaw. She's amazing. Anyway, we've sort of partnered with her a bit.
Wow.
Supporting her. This is not product related. It doesn't, you get back what you put out there.
Agreed.
I think. So just helping her with, because she wants to access our customers, because she doesn't want to deal with the public. It's already beauty therapists that just want to upskill a bit more. So it's those that want to upskill. There's B from Betox Method in Melbourne. She does lymphatic, I don't like to use the word drainage, but lymphatic drainage massage techniques.
Yep.
And that sort of, and I think wellness is going to be big and bigger in terms of gut health, looking from the inside in. And I don't think there's enough salons that do that enough. We're timely partners as well. So, so lovely. Cherry put us in touch.
Yes.
So, she's amazing. And all that she does in the wellness space, I love it.
Oh, yeah. And it just, again, speaks to that connection of people are looking for that whole picture, not just supporting their business, but supporting them as people and, growth in all areas, right?
That's right, yep. And a few business partners, a few business coaches. We've dealt with a few over time. Some are very different, some are very...
I think everyone is really different.
Yeah, you have to find your person. And it's a little bit hard, but how do you find your person? Show up to events, listen to podcasts. You'll kind of start to resonate with the right people.
That was the whole reason we started this podcast, was that it's just that gives people who are perhaps sitting on the fence about who you are to get an insight into who Samara is as a person.
The conversations that they're having with everybody or anybody or whoever's next to them, how they speak to things. So that's very helpful. But some of that are really wordy and sweary, and they sort of, and that resonates with some people.
Exactly.
Some of them that are a little bit older school that just want to talk to skin clinics that with a multiple team, that sort of thing. So, we've partnered with a few of those. So there's about 8 sort of companies at the moment that we've kind of partnered with loosely that I think is working. And so we're sort of going to try and pull that in and sort of formalise it a bit in a structured area on our website where they can sort of sit and,
That's really nice.
Yeah, I think it's going to work. It's a bit of a symbiotic two-way relationship.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It supports the industry. Trade shows are changing. Like how do you find these people? It used to be trade shows but they're changing.
So interestingly, because I was at my first sort of like trade show with the hair festival that I've been to for a long time, I think it's probably my first one post-COVID.
Okay.
Potentially.
Up here or Sydney?
It was in Sydney. Yep. And it felt like times of old. Like it actually was like, oh, this feels like it kind of used to feel like. So what do you think is happening in terms of like trade shows for the beauty industry? What do you think is happening with the industry itself? I
think it's niching. I think it's very niching. I hear the word community a lot, but I hear it from younger people. I don't know. I think community's always been there, but I don't think anyone that's raised on a phone necessarily recognises that. Maybe they haven't. So they're creating their own events. We support and sponsor through goodie bag things and stuff like that. A lot of there was Lash and Sip on the weekend with Jennifer, and that was Lash girlies getting out and just having a good night out. I'm going to another one in Melbourne soon. Again, it's Lash and Brow sort of people trying to attract that industry of person, but not. They're also inviting business mentors and a few other people. Yeah. I think purposely. So I think just to get them all in the room over a casual dinner, lunch. So niching definitely. And these brands these salons used to talk to us and say, you should do that sort of thing. But what we're finding is they're doing it.
Yes.
They're not waiting for us to do it. And that's fine. That's as it should be.
Yeah, and you're supporting it. You're offering
going
things
along
to support.
And, happy to advertise it, happy to support it and promote it. Yeah, because
do you think that people are niching their services, but do you think that the industry, beauty industry, is really niching in terms of size as well? There's a big conversation about this happening in hair at the moment of is there still a place for big salons? Is everyone going to go booth rental or chair rental? Where are things sitting? I think it's different for beauty because for us, I worked by myself, but I wanted to train young people. Therefore, I knew that I needed to have a salon.
Yeah, you need a space.
Yeah, I needed a space to be able to do that. But, I mean, with beauty, it's a little bit different because it's more of a solo journey. Even if you're working for someone.
Yes. Yep. Yes, because it's very much one-on-one in a room. with you and your client sort of thing, there's not a lot of overlap. There's not a lot of communal space services or techniques. Yes, I think it's a conversation of both sides, but I think and that just speaks to the journey of the person too about, they're kind of at the point where how do I grow anymore, or do I need to have a team around me? What does that look like?
And different people like different things, right? Some people thrive individually.
Yep.
I suppose it depends where they're at in their lives. We were talking about this earlier because both, your children have been through their journey now and they are heading out into their own journey.
As young adults.
As young adults, yes.
Yep, hopefully I've raised them well.
And off you go.
Yes.
And I'm sort of getting to the pointier end of that as well. Do you feel like when you changed, did that change like work-wise for you?
Yes, and that's probably one of the reasons I'm still there too, because I didn't take that much time off, but my transition back was slow. And then when my daughter started school, I changed those hours again to be, right, I'll work another day, but I'll cut it back the hours and I'll finish and pick her up at school from 3:30, whatever it was. So, yes, yeah. And I think you have to these days, you have to do that for your own mental health, and if you want a good team, you have to.
You have to respect that people have lives.
And different things are important to different people.
Yeah.
Yours might be monetary and you want to earn the most amount of money. Yours might be time. Yours might be, just want to be seen and thanked and heard,
Or time and money. Or in a combination of the two.
Yeah, true.
Quite nice.
It's quite nice, yeah. Yes, who's paying and who's receiving it. It's always a different thing. But, as long as you're getting the most out of the staff member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think too, when you, especially with beauty, that's where the people are perhaps, setting up their studio at home, for that flexibility, or quite the opposite, and perhaps they've had that, but then with home life, they're looking to get out and have a space that they can get away to.
And I think you always think that bigger is better too, and so I think that's how that evolves too. And then we've seen salons, because again, we've had long-term relationships with a lot of our customers. Then they shrink back down and they go, oh my God, I've got a room in my house now versus the 15 staff I had in salon, and I feel better in myself. I'm making just as much money as I was then, less stress, of having to manage all those bodies. So it depends. People, maybe if you're starting out, you might think that's I'm small. Like they sort of shrink a bit at the thought of that and think that they look up to these people with a big staff. Lots of staff, and think that that's the end goal, but
big staff, big stress.
Big staff, big stress. That's right, and not necessarily. You don't necessarily make more money out of it. So
yes, bookkeeper.
yep. I'm a numbers person, so I like numbers. They don't lie. They are what they are. They're black and white, and it's managing to read between the lines to work out the story behind numbers sometimes and where they lead you to. So
people have such a fear of numbers. Numbers can be your friend. Numbers don't lie. I think that's the catchphrase we're going to take today.
Numbers don't lie. Yep, absolutely. Know your numbers.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be overwhelming. It's,
Yeah.
And it's in everything. It's the number of clients you have, what their average spend is, because all that will talk to, well, you're not making enough money, then what do you want to charge?
Yeah.
In order to walk away with. So who can afford to pay that? Who is your ideal client then?
Yeah.
So start speaking to that. Don't be afraid to cut clients out of your life if they're not serving you. So
it's about having clients that value
absolutely
you.
Yep.
There's no point in trying to attract people that don't see any value in you.
Yep. Absolutely.
So they're just not for you. They can go to whatever they value. There's someone for everyone.
Absolutely.
There is a value level for everybody.
Yep.
So we don't have to please everybody.
That old traditional, I can get those lash extensions cheaper down the road.
Then do it.
Off you go. Off you go, because I'm not, I value my time and so should you.
Yeah.
I charge it for a reason because my kids have ballet. I have a life after here. I have to pay everybody and I have to service myself. And so everyone needs to think about that, not just I need to walk away with $25 an hour after this. Like, it's not about that. Yeah.
It's interesting that, and because I just see this all the time in socials, people complaining about stuff, but like it's little things. I have a cleaner. I always advocate for people having a cleaner. I think you should outsource whatever you can, but my cleaner makes a really good hourly rate, and nobody seems to complain about that. Like, you never see people on social media complaining about how much their cleaner charges.
Yeah, yep. Because don't let her get a whiff of that.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, yep. Because you value it. It's,
Yes,
it's the value you place
my
on it.
Time.
Yep, absolutely.
That the value of that money is giving me my time. And so, it's a really, really interesting
conversation when you start getting into where numbers can take you. It's not just profitability. It's because value is value. Like, you put the education in and did the hard yards, and had to work cheap, I guess, to start with to make to get a foot in. But when you get there, work out what your value is and don't be shy about it.
So sorry, I digress because I just my little brain just popped back to the partnerships. How did you decide who you were going to partner with?
I try to partner with people that I've met, definitely.
Yep.
Like, I don't just do randoms, so please don't approach me. That would be an awkward conversation over Instagram. Look, it's just people I resonate with. Like 2 years ago, I went to a timely event before Expo and sat in the audience and watched B from Talks Method in Melbourne do this amazing thing. I go, oh my God, where is it? And it's in Beaumaris, which is like 10 minutes around the corner from my house at home. So she's probably my age, maybe a little bit younger. So I just resonated with her and her approach and that whole wellness. I'm a bit of a science person too. Maybe maths and science was my thing. Nothing to do with beauty and things. And so the whole science behind lymphatic massage and drainage spoke to me. So I kind of connected with her afterwards, and it's like, oh my God, she gets me, And, so you just want to find people that get you. So I just start having conversations with people. I go to events where possible. I have FOMO about events, and I'm not going to know anybody anyway. At that timely event, I literally just walked in the door and said, "Ladies, I don't know anybody here. Can I talk to you?" And it was that 10 seconds of fear, and then it's done. And they were like, oh, yeah, very welcoming and things. So going to events, sitting next to people, Isabel Longrigan, I had sat next to at an event and started talking to and started messaging her. And, same. She's younger than me, I know, because she told me how old she was. But she's just speaks real. Like, she's very authentic, and she has a very high aesthetic, but she lives in Barrel, and which is, even she finds she doesn't fit in Barrel, just trying to find people that are authentic. And it's hard to sell people that I don't think are authentic or I don't get.
Exactly right.
Or that you have to have trust and faith in them. That means it's going to be a fit for everybody, but like I said, Samara will be a fit for some people, but not a fit for other people. So,
I know exactly what you mean with that. When I went down to Hair Festival, I decided spur of the minute that I was going to go to, we had like a couple of days industry event with the Australian Hairdressing Council.
Okay.
And I messaged Sherry from Timely.
Yep.
Because I was like, oh, stuff it, I'm just going to do it. Because I was going by myself. Like, normally I have my security blanket of at least Samara or Richard with me when we go
hold your hand with. And
which can sometimes work to our detriment because we are quite introverted in big crowds.
Yep.
And will mean that because we've got that safety net, we won't necessarily talk to people. But I was like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get off that plane and I'm going to go to this event. And I was messaging Sherry and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to freak out. Oh, I feel like I'm going to throw up in my mouth. Oh, why have I got myself into this? I can't believe I'm going to walk into a room with all these things. She's like, it's fine. I'll talk to you. I'm like, okay.
Come down off the wall. Yep.
It's going to be okay. And much like you, it's like got there, like walked off the plane, dropped my bag, walked to this event and was like, okay.
I'm
we're
here.
Doing it. Just like the penguins off Madagascar, just smile and wave.
Yeah, smile and wave. I love that. I love that line. Just, when in doubt, just smile and wave.
Yeah. But you do, like you have to
be in the room.
Yeah.
It's not even about putting yourself out there. Just stand at the back if you're really shy, but just get in the room because there are amazing people in our industry and that's the best way to find them is.
And if you want to see where things are going and you want to be part of where things are heading, you need to be in the room.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And everyone, and it will spark something that you didn't even think you needed or that wasn't even on your radar. So,
and even sometimes I say, because I've heard people say, but you go to these things and it's all the same thing. It's like, but are you doing it? Yeah. Because sometimes it's just hearing that same thing again that's going to be like, oh, I've really got to do that. Yep. That's the 17th time I've heard this and I still haven't actioned it.
Yep.
that, you know, that one time that you're in the room and they say it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it might resonate the 15th time you've heard it. It's just said slightly differently, or you sat next to someone who goes, oh my God, isn't she amazing? And I've tried that in my business. And you go, really? Have you? How did you do it? And that's how you find out. So get in the room, girls. So
100%.
Yep. And the events. And I know trade show is a bit, you know, I'm not saying tired. It does feel not a lot's changed in trade shows, but and no offense, they're still as expensive as it used to be. And at the end of the day, it's marketing dollars. So where people choose to put their marketing dollars changes.
Do you attend or do you have something at trade shows?
We used to have something at trade show, but no, we don't. Post-COVID, we don't. I think we'd signed up for Melbourne trade show post-COVID, and then it got sort of pushed back because, you know, COVID was a whole thing in Melbourne, and then it never came back. So and then we kind of just gone, I went to, none of us wanted to go to the first Sydney trade show because I don't think anyone really wanted to be in the building with that many people. That was a whole thing coming out of Melbourne. We were all frightened to death. And it was like, oh, it's really small, but, you know, it's still the same money. The traffic's not here.
Yeah.
So, we probably won't go back to trade show unless we do something niche maybe.
Yeah, okay.
But now I just go to trade shows to catch up with people, and that's more valuable. The connections.
I feel like that's the direction that I see those things going in. Like you still have your core little trade show, whatever it is, but it's all those other little micro events that are happening around them, sponsored by particular brands that's that community connection building. That's where people are wanting to go. You've still got that much smaller aspect of sales per se. But I really do think that that's the movement and the direction that if people are wanting to do something around that, that's where you get the bums and seats. Do you agree?
Yep, absolutely. Yep. You don't know what partnership's going to take you down a certain road or where people are at, and I think for us as a product supplier, like I said, we have good relationships with the brands we've got. That doesn't mean that we're not adding brands, but we need to find other ways to connect people to us. And so we're doing it through people partnerships and
oh, I like that.
Yeah, people partnerships. Yeah, mentors and gurus. I don't know what's the good word for them, but a guru. Get a guru in your life. Whether it's finances you need help with, which we all need help with, because clearly we didn't enter the beauty industry because we wanted to do finances. Like we don't. We want to be tangible and tactile, and no one wants to do pedicures. But we want to. That was not what we signed up for. Yeah. You realise when you have a business that's what you need. So, putting people in touch with those sorts of people and, trying to tick all the boxes. We've always tried to tick all the boxes with product, but, we're just trying to go, you're running a business. What does that mean in terms of staff and advertising?
You're looking at the people that are coming to you more as an ecosystem rather than just like an individual, because it's if you support, like with nature, and because obviously everyone's far more into nature, hopefully, now than they used to be. If you support that entire ecosystem around that singular, then that's when everything
flourishes. Yep. You put a little dome on top of it and it just waters itself. And absolutely. So that's people partnerships is where we're headed. So which all travels back to product. At the end of the day, we all have to use product. So
yes,
don't want to do us out of a disservice out of a job, but we're.
So you were saying before that everybody's got a product.
Everybody's got a product.
And it's a bit scary.
It is a bit scary. So, everybody's got something that they want to give you and just expect that they can put it on the shelf with you, and it's like, that's not the way it works, sort of thing. So come and have a relationship with us.
Because obviously they have to build the relationship, but then after the relationship, is there a step where it's like, okay, now we actually – because I think as we identified, you've got like that mathematical and science brain. It's like you can have a great relationship with someone and still think, I'm not sold by what you're presenting to me.
Yep. It might just not be the right time.
Yeah.
And I've had those conversations before going, it looks like a good product. It's just not packaged well enough. I've sent people away with that too. And good on them, their persistence, and they've gone away and come back. There's a lady in Melbourne that we're dealing with uniforms, and a year ago she came to me and showed me, this is my passion, I want to present uniforms to salons, and they're very aesthetic. They were linen, and it's like, just where's the movement? Like you got to remember people are massaging people. Yeah. So she went away for a year and came back, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's closer to the mark. And it's like, well, we don't really want to sell uniforms because there's sizing and colours, but what about we just direct traffic to you? You know, like, what about we connect our customers to you?
Yeah.
So that's how but that was a purposeful one. We don't have a uniform. We don't sell clothing or apparel. So but salons need that, or there's a time in life where they want to. So that's connecting the right people.
There's a big shift in that at the moment, actually.
Yeah. Hers is very spa aesthetic, you know, that whole talking to the dermal clinician, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
It's not pink and green, but there's, you know, people, colours are so important these days because it's all to do with branding. And if your colour is orange, then everything is orange. And Lash and Brow Bars tend to bring out orange brushes. Like, you know, they'll release a range of their own things, which that's fine.
That's very true, because I have just taken on a new range in my salon and did then have to purchase everything aesthetically to match it. So when my technician and rep came in the other day and they're like, oh my gosh, even your combs and your clips match. And I'm like, I know, I wanted to be completely on brand.
It's for your own mental health too.
Yeah.
Like if, you know, it's a little bit of OCD, kind of that just doesn't match. It's just screaming clash sort of thing. So, yeah.
But speaking of the clash, that was one of the other things I noticed being in that work environment that was trying to combine the hair and the beauty, is that we had a specific aesthetic that we were supposed to dress to. Which was all neutral palette, no colour, everything had to be like beige pretty much. It's very hard to be a hairdresser and have everything beige.
Yeah, yep. Hard to be a nail technician and have everything. Can you imagine nail technicians? Like they dust all over them and just that doesn't work either. And they're very colourful, and there's not really too many neutral nails out there that, you know, that's not what you're known for. You know what I mean? French is okay, but everyone can do French, but not the bright colours and faces on nails and things like that. So, things have to have a niche. So, if we've got something that is young and funky and bright and colourful that speaks to something, that might be enough of a point of difference for us to onboard it. But, you know, it has to serve a purpose. It has to be, has to do something different to everything else, or else I'm just carving up the pie and giving it to someone else. And that's not fair to our current brands who, you know, we've worked hard with all this time.
They put the work in.
They put the
ingredients into that pie.
Absolutely.
They deserve to have
We're
a slice
not all
of it.
about that. We're not, you know, we're not making it. We're not the chemist. But, yes, that's your forte. Ours is getting it to you at the right price, at the right time, just in time. So,
Excellent. I love that. Yep. Oh, thank you. There's been just so many insightful takeaways from our chat today. And I think that, it's really lovely to speak to someone who's seen such an evolution in the industry and is still excited to keep evolving as you move forward.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one of the biggest lessons and takeaways that I think people should have, is just because you've always been in a certain place, been doing things a certain way, doesn't mean that there doesn't come a time where you're like, okay, and now we pivot.
The only way you're going to grow is if you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So you've got to
get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's it. And you'll start to grow. So get it in the room where you don't really want to go. Yeah. And you'll take something away from it. So Well, I really appreciate you coming and getting in the room with us today. Thank you for inviting me on.
I really have enjoyed our chat. Thank you so much. That's I apologise that my friend could not be here today to join us.
That's all right.
But we had to pivot and grow and get uncomfortable, and we did okay.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you so much for coming on, and thanks so much for listening, guys. We will be back very soon. Have a good day.